Every major decision in a solo business gets made by a committee of one, usually tired, usually late at night, usually with nobody in the room to say, hold on, walk me through that again. Raise a price or don't. Retire the offer or keep it. Take the partnership or pass. In a bigger company, decisions like those get argued about. Somebody plays devil's advocate. Somebody runs the numbers out loud. Somebody asks the question that stings a little. In a business of one, all of those somebodies are you, and you're also the person who's been up since 5:30. The most expensive mistakes I've watched solo owners make were not bad ideas. They were unchallenged ones. Now, before I tell you what I built, let me disown the cheap version of this because it's everywhere. The cheap version is opening a chat window and typing, "What should I do?" and treating whatever comes back as an oracle. That's not a board. That's outsourcing your judgment to the average of the internet. And I will never teach you to hand your judgment away. The judgment stays yours. What I built gets you better raw material to judge with. Glad you're here. I'm Makeda Boehm. I've closed nearly $10 million in tech sales over 4 years, earned 7 figures doing it, and here I teach service-based business owners how to use AI, automations, systems, and agents to create more money, time, and options. AI is moving at the speed of daily, and I help you keep up. And if this one lands, leave a review and tell me which part. That's how I know what to go deeper on. Here's the distinction that changes everything. And almost nobody using AI has noticed it. Nearly everyone uses AI as an executor. Write this, draft that, summarize this, do the thing I already decided, which is real leverage. And I teach it constantly. But there's a second mode most people never turn on, and it's the one boards exist for, the examiner. Not do the thing I decided. Instead, examine the decision itself, argue the other side, find what I'm not seeing, tell me what I'd have to believe for this to be right. So I built my business a board of directors. Here's what that actually means. In plain language, my AI reads my business the way a real board member reads the packet before the meeting. My actual offers, my actual numbers, my actual goals, my actual rules, all of it documented in the foundation I've taught it, and then I make it take seats around the table. One seat argues strategy. One seat is the skeptic whose whole job is to poke holes. One seat only cares about the money math. One seat speaks for the market, for the actual buyer. One seat guards the brand and the voice. And when I bring a real decision to that table, the seats argue with each other, using my real numbers and my real goals, not generic advice from nowhere. The first time you watch a skeptic seat challenge your pricing using your own documented history, something shifts. Not because the AI is smarter than you. It isn't. It's because you've never had the arguments laid out side by side by something that knows your business and has no feelings to protect and no agenda to push. Nobody on that board wants the corner office. Nobody's angling for anything. The only thing on the table is your stated goal and whether the decision serves it. And here's the rule that makes it a board and not a boss. The board never decides. It examines, it argues, it surfaces, and then it hands the decision back to me every time. A board that decides for you is a dependency. A board that argues in front of you is an education. I want you making sharper calls, and the fastest way I know is watching your own decision get stress tested from 5 directions before it costs you anything. If you're wondering what a board would even examine first in your business, start one level simpler. The free AI employee report at audit.seedandsociety.com, asks 11 questions, takes about 3 minutes, and shows you where your business is leaking money, time, or options right now. It's free, and honestly, the leak it names is usually the first thing worth arguing about. Now the honesty, because the truth always holds nuance. A board of seats is only as good as what it reads. If your AI doesn't deeply know your business, your real offers, your real margins, your real customer, then the argument it stages is theater. Impressive sounding and grounded in nothing. The board stands on the same floor everything I teach stands on. An AI that has actually been taught your business. And second, some decisions don't belong at this table at all. The ones involving a human being's trust, a relationship, a person's livelihood, those get my full human attention every time. The board sharpens my thinking. It does not replace my humanity. Here's where I want to leave you. Executives have had this forever. Boards, advisors, war rooms, people paid handsomely to argue before the money moves. Solo owners were told to journal about it. That gap was never about talent. It was about access. And access is exactly what just changed. The consultant in Tulsa can convene a board before she raises her rates. The therapist in Marseille can hear the case against expanding before signing the lease. The agency owner in Cebu can stress test the pivot at midnight, alone, and still not be alone in the argument. That's more money, because decisions get stress tested before they get expensive, not after. That's more time, because the weeks you'd spend second-guessing collapse into one honest hour of hearing the other side. And that's more options, because when you know your call survived 5 arguments, you move on it, and moving is where the options come from. Sign up for the newsletter at seedandsociety.com, newsletter, and send this episode to a friend who's carrying a big decision alone right now. You probably know exactly who. And if you got something from today, a rating and a review helps this free education reach more people. Until next time, continue planting the seeds for a better society.